Well, after multiple logistical challenges, the January 6th House Committee will gather once again later today for the third hearing into the Capitol siege. For this session, the focus will be on how former President Donald Trump forced then Vice President Mike Pence to reject the electoral count. There'll be 2 live witnesses present at the hearing.
In our next hearing on Thursday, the Select Committee will examine President Trump's relentless effort on January 6th and in the days beforehand to pressure Vice President Pence to refuse to count lawful electoral votes. As a federal judge has indicated, this likely violated 2 federal criminal statutes. President Trump had no factual basis for what he was doing, and he had been told it was illegal. Despite this, President Trump plotted with a lawyer named John Eastman and others to overturn the outcome of the election on January 6th. To give you a sense of the gravity of these issues, here is a clip of one of President Trump's own White House lawyers, Eric Hirschman, who talked to Mr. Eastman the day after January 6th.
Trump, along with conservative law professor John Eastman, launched a public and a private pressure campaign on Pence. And that happened just days before the Vice President was due to preside over the January 6th session to certify Joe Biden's electoral victory. The session is also expected to reveal new evidence about the dangers that Pence faced that day. On January the 6th, a mob entered the Capitol building shouting, "Hang Mike Pence." The Vice President, along with the senators, then went into hiding inside the premises.
They're getting into the Capitol tonight.
You can see Vice President Pence and his family quickly move down the stairs. The Vice President turns around briefly as he's headed down.
9 people died on the day and in the weeks after. And what was the worst attack on the US Capitol since 1814. And the Democrats argue it was all because of Donald Trump's unjustified claims of electoral fraud. Our correspondent Susan Trine is back with us from New York to talk more about this story. Susan, the attention today turns very much to Mike Pence and that pressure campaign. What can we expect to come out of this hearing?
Right. This is a day, really, as you mentioned, will be focused on the vice president and how he did not agree to not certify the election results. And, we are expected to see, as we saw sort of snippets of unprecedented photos of Mike Pence and his family in hiding in a safe space during that day. Where the rioters, a number of them, were looking for him and shouting, "Hang Mike Pence," and where he was, sort of taken into that place, him, and, he was sort of reunited with his family. It'll be interesting, to see his lawyers take on what happened from their perspective. These are information that we haven't heard before from Mike Pence's side. He's been mum for the most part regarding this issue. And also, it'll be interesting to find out, to what extent, there has been talk, and we have information about how he called the National Guards, to what extent Donald Trump was involved in calling the National Guards to dispel the rioters. But then after that, what took place. So I think it'll be an important day, and a lot of information will come out of it.
Susan Trine joining us live from New York City. Thanks, as always, for your time.